Good, you guys, DPU777 here with another video. Before we continue on, I want to thank you guys for watching, and I hope you guys like the content. So don't forget to subscribe and like. So let's continue on. We have Jellicent as lead, and what did I have here? Oh yeah, we have Registeel, and we have Altaria at the back. And this team composition was really fun in the early ranks that I had, because having Jellicent as lead really makes your opponent think about like what to do next, unless of course they have Galvantula, so it's definitely my time to think. So yeah, I do have Registeel as a safe swap. Even though it does have somewhat of weaknesses in ground and fighting and fire, of course. At this time of the season, there was no Talonflame like hype, and you know, it was fine for me to encounter like fighting, for example. So on this one we have Azumarill. He doesn't shield my first flash cannon, but the thing is with lock-on it gets stronger, like my moves, so they don't shield the second flash cannon. So I was thinking to myself that maybe they have something to counter Registeel at the back. So right here I just lock on down all the way, and they do have a Shadow Swampert at the back, so I go straight for the Focus Blast. Of course here they're gonna shield, so they lose the shield right here, but I do have Altaria, so as long as they don't have maybe a Sludge Wave which does neutral damage to Altaria, then I should be good. So they get to a Hydro Cannon, but I know they have a lot of energy going on, so I just wait for my time clock to go and I go for Altaria, and I think to myself that this is too early for a Sludge Wave, so it's probably just a Hydro Cannon. Hydro Cannon, even though it says it's not very effective, because it's a shadow, it does do a lot of damage. So they bring back the Skarmory, and I have my Jellicent right here using Bubble Beam, and actually the matchup with Skarmory and Altaria, it's actually pretty close, just because the Dragon Breath does a lot of neutral damage to Skarmory, and right here Skarmory just like Dragon Breath, Altaria just Dragon Breath the Skarmory down, and yeah, I do shield this one because Hydro Cannon does hit, even though like it's not very effective. It does hit a lot on a like because of its shadow component on it, and then here I just go for a Sky Attack, and it's game over for my opponent. GG, and then we go to the next one. So yeah, the only issue with this team is that I do not get my opponent to shield as much, because Registeel can't double up on its moves, and even though Lock-On is a really strong move and Focus Blast is super strong, it doesn't get stabbed, and Flash Cannon just overall Registeel is pretty like mediocre in general. But right here they had Azu, and then they switch to Ninetales, and I do have a pretty good matchup with Ninetales, so I'm not sure why they had to switch like that. And right here I hard wall, like nothing that they put out beats Registeel. So yeah, like right here I can just take anything. I don't even have to shield anything. I'm just gonna go for Flash Cannon because it goes super effective, since they have since it's part ice, Ninetales. So I go for Flash Cannon, and they just let that go because they have a Stunfisk at the back. So I know that the Azu didn't probably had like 3 or 4 bubbles going on. So I do have to think about that. So I let go of the I think that was the Earthquake, and then I just go for Jellicent. So I know that my win condition right now is with Jellicent, so I do have to shield this one. So I'm preserving as much health as possible to Jellicent. Jellicent does win the matchup with Azumarill, depending on how many bubble beams you give, and what type of move the Azumarill has. If it has Play Rough, it'll be a lot closer. But if it has Ice Beam and Hydro Pump, the match will be in favor with Jellicent. So here they do have Play Rough, so they still have their shield. So that's one thing, if you guys do want to run this team, is that your opponent will not particularly shield anything, because Bubble Beam does nothing. Shadow Ball, it's so hard for them to really know when to shield, if that makes sense. So here I just go straight Bubble Beam. I'm just gonna Bubble Beam it down, and I'm thinking of catching a move with Altaria, because right here they do switch to Stun Fist, but the Rock Slides do not do as much damage at that range, because it's gonna take about 3 Rock Slides for them to win. But they only have 2 shields, so they have to commit to the first shield, and they would probably have to commit to the second shield with Stun Fist. But the good thing is I have a Jellicent still alive. So right here I do go for another Sky Attack, and they have no more shields left, and I do take this out right here. But what I should have done is probably just not have gone super on excellent on the Sky Attack, and just farmed the Stun Fist down and just gone with my Jellicent. So right here I just take it out with the Sky Attack, and it was so close, because if you see the timing of it, it just went down. I only had like 6 seconds left. So yeah, so there are pretty advantageous things about this team as well. Like you do kind of win when there's like time is up, because if Jellicent keeps bubble beaming the opponent's monster, then you definitely win right there. So I take a Night Slash from Obstagoon, and I quickly switch to my Altaria, basically my hard counter, just to see what they have at the back. And they do have a Fairy, a Charmer, which is okay for me. Honestly, they can charm all the way down. I do have Registeel at the back. But what I probably could have done is just stayed with Jellicent and shielded, some sort of combination like that. But the thing is with Obstagoon is that if they get the boost from Night Slash, I totally lose. Like it's so hard for me to come back from that. Yeah, so right here I go for a Flash Cannon, and they're definitely not going to shield this, because Obstagoon will just counter this down as much as possible. But they bring out their own Registeel. So this was a really fun match, because I would have never thought that they would bring a Registeel, and for some reason they took the Focus Blast onto the Obstagoon. So right here I'm just gonna go for a Bubble Beam, and I'm gonna try my best to like debuff this thing as much as possible. Bubble Beam does do a lot of neutral damage because my Jellicent is rank 8. So yeah, see, so the more Bubble Beams I get, the less the Night Slash hurts. So I go for another Bubble Beam, and my switch clock is definitely not there, so unfortunately we do CMP, but the Obstagoon wins CMP right there. But because they threw, I get more energy, and they quickly switch to their own Registeel. So I'm thinking to myself right now that this is so bad for me. Like, it is almost impossible for me to win, right? There's no way. So I'm just gonna keep going just to see what's gonna happen. Like, I don't know if my opponent's gonna make a mistake or whatnot, but they obviously go for the Focus Blast, or like if they go for Flash Cannon, it's probably gonna be funnier. But yeah, this is game over. So GG to my opponent. Good job. So right here I go for a new game, and it's Jellicent versus Marowak. I do most of the time win against Marowak just because the Bubble Beam does so much damage and also reduces their attack. So if they only have Shadow Bone, I can take about 2 Shadow Bones before I pass out. The Shadow Ball is a lot different. So right here, I switched to Altaria, and they do have a Charmed Ninetales. So Charmed Ninetales is a real problem in this team, but like I said, I do have Registeel, so I just wanted to get the Charmer out of the way, so that Registeel can come in and try and farm down. And yeah, so I know that there's a Marowak in the beginning, and Marowak versus Registeel is kind of close if the Marowak already lost a lot of health. So right there, Marowak already lost a health, and they they decide to go for a Marowak, which is interesting. So whatever they have at the back, what I'm thinking of is yeah, it's Azumarill. So I was thinking that it was gonna be weak to Jellicent, but it's pretty neutral. But like I said, as long as I do have a lot of energy with Jellicent, it's pretty advantageous. And this Azumarill is already double debuffed, and so yeah, so you guys could see, like, my opponent does not shield. Like in most of the matches right here, they do not want to shield anything, just because, oh, it's a bubble beam, they don't think nothing's gonna happen. So I do go for the Shadow Ball right now, and they don't even shield that. So right here, I swap quickly to a Registeel, but I have so much energy now loaded that I can go for a Flash Cannon, and they do shield. They decide to shield, and right here, what they should have done is just completely farmed it down, my Registeel, and shielded my next move. So what they do here is probably my opponent's mistake. You guys will see what happens. Is they shield. Yes, they do shield, but it's so close because the lock-on is done. But I think, yeah, what they should have done was probably shielded whatever would come about on Azumarill instead. But I don't know, it was pretty debatable. I mean, at this time, I already have energy on both Registeel and Jellicent, so yeah, it's game over for them, and it's good game for me. So we have next a Jellicent versus Umbreon. Okay, so this is a really bad matchup for me, but what I'm gonna try and do is just go for, yeah, what I thought I was gonna do is switch, because I thought that I would get to the Bubble Beam and then go for the what's it called, the switch, but they got to the Foul Play before that, so I didn't want to shield that because Jellicent is pretty tanky. So they lose the shield because they want to get to they want to obviously hold the Venusaur because it does have some play with Jellicent. But the thing is with Altaria versus Venusaur is Altaria just doesn't care about whatever move Venusaur does, except for Sludge Bomb, which right now it definitely is a Sludge Bomb, which, like I said, that's the only attack that would probably like hurt Altaria. So right here I do shield because I do want to win switch, and I really want to align Umbreon with the Registeel because it does have Focus Blast. So right here, yeah, it'll just keep trying to farm down, but I'll probably get to a Sky Attack. So my opponent does know that, hey, they're probably gonna get to another Sky Attack and it's gonna go super low. So I do go for my Registeel right here. So anything that they throw at the Registeel does nothing, literally. Even though the Foul Play is neutral, and they can spam Foul Plays. Just because the Umbreon is already low in health, I can basically just go for the Focus Blast, but they have a really healthy Azumarill, so this will be quite tricky to go. So I do go for the Flash Cannon, and right here I do go for the Bubble Beam because I want to debuff it as much as possible. And by the time I get to the next Bubble Beam, they'll throw a move. but I was thinking I could take it because I already debuffed it, and I go for another Bubble Beam just to see, and just debuff it as much as possible so that my win condition will be Registeel. So here, Azumarill is triple debuff. I mean, what I could have probably done is gone for the Shadow Ball, but I wanted to farm down the the Azumarill as much as possible. But yeah, like it would have probably been the right play. But they have Ice Beam, so this was actually way better because if it was like Hydro, I don't know why they didn't go for Hydro Cannon. I guess they didn't have Hydro Cannon. So yeah, I already still have a shield right there, and then this should be game over right now. And you see the time clock at the top, it's 18 seconds left. So with 18 seconds left, I go for the Focus Blast. And I win! So 5 seconds left, and that's it, you guys. So I really want to thank you guys for watching, and I'll see you guys on the next video. Bye!